Hello friends, how are you? Shall we start our class today? So let's go. Under the blazing sun of a bustling market square, a young man named Elias wandered with furrowed brows. His tattered clothes and the weight of his empty purse reflected the hardships he had endured. Elias was determined to find a way to make ends meet, but his prospects seemed bleak. Amid the chaos of merchants shouting and coins clinking, a serene presence caught his attention. An old man with a long silver beard and piercing eyes sat quietly under the shade of a fig tree. Draped in simple yet elegant robes, he exuded wisdom and tranquility. Elias, drawn to the man's calming demeanor, hesitated for a moment before approaching him. "Good day, sir," Elias greeted nervously. The old man looked up, his eyes twinkling as if he could see into Elias's soul. "Good day, young man. What brings you to this busy marketplace with such a heavy heart?" Elias hesitated but decided to be honest. "I'm struggling, sir. I have nothing of value and no way to improve my situation." The old man studied him thoughtfully before reaching into his satchel. He pulled out a delicate gold ring adorned with a small, sparkling gemstone and handed it to Elias. "This," the old man said with a mysterious smile, "is no ordinary ring. It is precious and holds great value." Elias stared at the ring in awe. "It's beautiful," he murmured. "Indeed it is," the old man replied. "But its true worth can only be determined by someone who understands its value. I challenge you to take this ring and sell it for its real worth. But heed my words, accept no less than the highest offer." Elias's eyes widened. "You trust me with something so valuable?" The old man chuckled softly. "Trust is not the question here, my boy. It is a lesson I wish to teach you." Elias hesitated but eventually accepted the ring. "I'll do my best," he said earnestly. "Remember," the old man added, "do not settle for anything less than what the ring is truly worth. Return to me once you've accomplished your task." With that, Elias turned and walked away, clutching the ring tightly in his hand. His heart was a mixture of excitement and apprehension as he wondered about the journey that lay ahead. Elias walked into the heart of the bustling marketplace, the gold ring glinting in his hand like a promise. Optimism burned brightly in his chest as he imagined the life-changing sum the ring might fetch. Approaching the first merchant, a burly man selling trinkets and baubles, Elias cleared his throat. "Excuse me, sir," Elias began, holding the ring up to catch the merchant's eye. "I'd like to sell this ring. It's worth a great deal." The merchant squinted at the ring, took it gingerly, and inspected it under the light. With a laugh, he tossed it back to Elias. "This looks like any other ring. I'll give you 2 silver coins for it." 2 silver coins? Elias repeated in shock. "It's worth far more than that." The merchant smirked. "To you, maybe. But to me, it's just another ring." He waved Elias away and returned to his wares. Elias felt the first pang of doubt but pushed it aside. Surely someone in the market would recognize the ring's true worth. Determined, he moved to the next stall. The cycle repeated itself with every vendor he approached. Some dismissed him outright, others offered paltry sums. 5 silver coins, 10 at most. The rejection was disheartening, and frustration began to gnaw at Elias. Why can't they see its value? He murmured to himself. The sun was high overhead when Elias sat down under a canopy, weary and disillusioned. A kind voice interrupted his thoughts. "You look troubled, young man." Elias looked up to see a woman with soft eyes standing by her stall of fabrics. "It's this ring," he explained, holding it up. "I'm trying to sell it, but no one offers me a fair price. They don't understand its worth." The woman studied the ring for a moment before handing it back. "Perhaps they aren't the right people to judge it. Have you tried someone who truly knows jewelry?" Elias blinked. The thought hadn't occurred to him, but it made perfect sense. "A jeweler," he said, feeling a spark of hope reignite. "Thank you, ma'am." "Good luck," she said with a smile, as Elias set off with renewed purpose. The marketplace's noise began to fade as Elias made his way to the outskirts of town, where the craftsmen and artisans worked. It didn't take long to find a jeweler. An older man with keen eyes, hunched over a desk littered with tools and gemstones. "Sir," Elias began, his voice steady, "could you evaluate this ring for me?" The jeweler glanced up, his curiosity piqued. Taking the ring, he turned it in his fingers, examining it through a magnifying lens. His brow furrowed, and he let out a low hum of approval. "Remarkable," the jeweler said at last. "This ring is exquisite, a work of true craftsmanship. Where did you get it?" "A wise man gave it to me," Elias replied cautiously. "What do you think it's worth?" The jeweler placed the ring down gently, as if it were a fragile treasure. "It's worth a small fortune. I'd be willing to pay 100 gold coins for it, perhaps even more if you'll let me gather the sum." Elias's heart raced. 100 gold coins? The highest offer he'd received in the market was 10 silver coins. He couldn't believe it. "Thank you, sir," Elias said, taking the ring back. "You've been most helpful." As he left the jeweler's workshop, Elias felt a mix of triumph and disbelief. The ring was worth more than he ever imagined, but why hadn't anyone in the market realized it? He remembered the old man's challenge and realized the lesson wasn't over yet. Elias's footsteps echoed softly as he left the jeweler's workshop, his mind swirling with thoughts. He replayed the jeweler's words, marveling at how this small piece of jewelry could hold such immense value. As the path led him back toward the busy streets of the marketplace, Elias felt a growing urgency to understand what all of this meant. The ring now gleamed in the sunlight, seemingly brighter than ever. He found himself staring at it as he walked, pondering the disparity between the offers he'd received earlier and the jeweler's evaluation. Deep down, Elias knew this wasn't just about the ring. It was about something bigger. When he arrived back in the marketplace, a young boy approached him wide-eyed. "Mister, is that ring for sale? It looks shiny." Elias hesitated before shaking his head. "It's not for sale, not for silver coins at least." The boy blinked and shrugged, returning to his games. Elias smiled faintly, realizing how quickly people judged value based on appearance alone. It wasn't long before he stood once again under the shade of the fig tree where he'd first met the wise man. The old man was there, just as serene as before, as if no time had passed. "Ah, Elias," the wise man greeted with a knowing smile. "You've returned. Tell me, what have you discovered?" Elias stepped forward, holding out the ring. "I tried selling it, as you asked. In the market, no one offered more than 10 silver coins. But when I went to a jeweler, he told me it was worth over 100 gold coins." The old man nodded, his gaze steady. "And what do you make of this?" Elias paused, collecting his thoughts. The ring's true value wasn't obvious to the merchants or the people in the market. Only the jeweler, who understood its craftsmanship, could see what it was really worth. The wise man's eyes gleamed with approval. "Precisely. This ring is a lesson in itself. Value is not always recognized by everyone. It takes wisdom and knowledge to see the true worth of something or someone." Elias swallowed hard, the depth of the words sinking in. "So you're saying that people are like this ring?" The old man nodded again. "Indeed. Many will judge you based on surface impressions or shallow understanding, offering you less than your worth. But there will always be those who see you for who you truly are and recognize your value." Elias stared at the ring, his heart heavy with newfound understanding. He couldn't help but think of the times he'd been overlooked or underestimated. The realization was humbling yet empowering. "Thank you," Elias said, his voice filled with gratitude. "I'll carry this lesson with me." The wise man smiled softly. "Remember, Elias, the world often fails to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. But never forget your worth, even when others cannot see it." When the evening cast its gentle glow over the quiet town, Elias found himself drawn back to the peaceful spot beneath the ancient fig tree. The market had grown silent, and dusk wrapped its soft light around the familiar surroundings. With the treasured ring safely tucked away, Elias retraced the steps that led him to his first encounter with the wise man, his heart filled with anticipation and reflection. He sensed that his journey with the ring was far from over, and that the final, most important lesson awaited him at the feet of the wise man. As Elias reached the familiar clearing, the wise man sat calmly as if he had been waiting for him all along. The old man's eyes sparkled with kindness and a deep understanding as he greeted Elias, saying, "Welcome back, my child. What wisdom have you gathered from your travels?" Elias, still brimming with the emotions of his recent encounters, took a moment before answering. "I sought the true worth of this ring. Every vendor in the lively market offered me meager sums, failing to recognize its beauty. Only the discerning jeweler revealed that the ring holds a value far beyond what I had ever imagined." The wise man listened intently, nodding slowly as he absorbed each word. "You have discovered an essential truth, Elias," he said softly. "The ring is but a symbol, a mirror reflecting the hidden depths within us. Just as its beauty was concealed from the untrained eye, so too is our true value obscured by superficial judgments. Many will see only the shine of a surface, yet few will appreciate the craftsmanship beneath." Elias felt these words resonate deeply. "I understand now," he replied quietly, "that many undervalue not because they lack generosity, but because they have not taken the time to see what lies beneath." The twilight deepened and a gentle silence enveloped them. Elias looked into the wise man's eyes, feeling the weight of unspoken truths between the words. "I have borne the sting of shallow assessments all my life," Elias confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. "Each dismissal made me doubt my own worth, leaving me uncertain of who I truly am. Now, knowing the value of this ring, I begin to see that the opinions of those who never looked beneath the surface are not meant to define me." The wise man's gaze was firm yet compassionate. "Remember, Elias, that the world is full of fleeting glimmers of illusion. True value, like art or a rare jewel, is recognized only by those who appreciate its painstaking creation." A soft smile curled on the wise man's lips as he continued, "You have learned that a single object or person may be misunderstood by many, yet for those who take the time to truly observe, there lies a brilliance unmatched by superficial glances. The ring's worth does not lie in its appearance alone, but in the history, care, and genuine craftsmanship it embodies. And so, you must cherish every aspect of your being, for you are a work of art crafted by life's trials and triumphs." Elias listened, every word embedding itself into his heart like seeds awaiting growth in fertile soil. "I will remember this," he stated with a steady resolve, "for it is a beacon guiding me through darkness and doubt." As the night embraced them and stars shimmered overhead like tiny beacons of hope, Elias stood, feeling renewed and empowered. The ancient fig tree witnessed his silent vow to uphold his newfound understanding. "I will seek those who value hidden treasures and honor the depth within every soul," Elias promised, his voice resolute and clear. The wise man, nodding in quiet approval, replied, "Your journey is only beginning now, Elias. May you always remember that true worth transcends external judgments and that every person possesses a luminous inner beauty." With these final words echoing in his heart, Elias stepped forward, ready to meet the world with eyes unclouded by prejudice and enriched by wisdom, his spirit forever transformed by the lesson of the magic ring. May each step reaffirm your inner treasure, permanently guiding you ever onward in pursuit of genuine value and wisdom. It's great to see you here. Tell me in the comments what you thought of the story and what level of difficulty it was for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell so you don't miss new stories, and like if you liked it. I'll see you next time. Bye.